Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directive. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button so that we can connect our energies together. I think you will find the reading will resonate a little more for you. All right, so, and always check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. And just in case this one doesn't resonate, and also gives you a more complete picture. So yes, I'm doing a love reading. It'll come right after I finish the weekly reading, and I will timestamp it. So if you do want to skip ahead, you're welcome to do so, but you might miss out on some really good information. So let's check out what the overall energy for this week is, and you have a book. Excellent. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, wow, but it's a beautiful book. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on for you. If you have subscribed, be sure to hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload videos. Okay, so, what am I seeing here? All right, well, so you have an 8 of Cups. There is a situation that you are walking away from. It's emotionally walking away from something that's not serving you. Now, it could be like, oh my gosh, I need a break and I'm going away for the weekend, because I do see that in some of these cards. It could be something bigger than that, but there's a new beginning, a creative opportunity that comes from it. So maybe you just need a break, a pause, or maybe it is a whole new cycle, because we have the Ace of Wands, which is a new creative beginning. It's something you're enthusiastic about. It's a new opportunity. It's having that blank slate, the ability to go ahead and fire up and start your life in the direction that you want to go. It's something new and exciting for you. And you are coming up on that sun being in your sign. And I see the sun coming up in this picture. And this looks like closing the door and walking away as an end of a cycle. And when that sun starts rising on you, that it's an opportunity for a new beginning, because again, here we have the sun, and this is striding confidently forward, right? Moving forward, and it's that attraction, that magnetic attraction that we pick up when the sun is shining on our signs. And so it really feels like you're ending a cycle, you're closing out something, or you're going to find some balance, some rest. We have Temperance, which is Temperance is when you find the balance in a situation that's kind of complicated, kind of difficult, and you figure out how to take two things and put them together and make them work. And I do believe it's going to take some teamwork. There's also the dogs of loyalty here, and Spirit is leading the way. And so create a new project, maybe at work, maybe in the personal life. It's kind of hard to say, because we're in your 12th house when we're in Libra, of hopes, goals, dreams, and wishes, and then you're going to move into your first house of you when that sun starts shining on you on the 23rd, and so it really could be either way. We aren't there yet. This is the energy for the week, but when I see major arcanas like that, that means it's a major change happening, and sometimes the spillover and the divine timing takes a little bit longer. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what's going on here. With the moon is in Taurus on Monday. It is in Taurus on Monday and Tuesday and almost all of Wednesday, because that's at 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday that it moves into Gemini. And the moon in this position really has a lot to do with that sense of responsibility, that need to find the most effective, efficient way to do something, maybe reworking a system, to find a productive way to handle it. It is about finding that balance, that alchemy. And so that's kind of like Spirit doubling down on that need to have that sense of balance. And so there's pleasure and there's beauty in the balance. And you are being emotionally protected. We have the gardenia here, emotional protection. And so I really do think that whatever it is that you're choosing to walk away from, it's probably time, and it's okay. So I think that there's no cards of sadness here. There's just a card of done. Done, new cycle, moving forward, going to put it together the way I want to, is what it looks like. Then when it moves into Gemini, it's in Gemini Thursday. It's about realizing just how resilient you are. Like, I feel like, okay, I'm done. I'm walking away. That was a bunch of crap, whatever that was, work, whatever it was, relationship, whatever. But look at how I managed it. And I am resilient and I am capable and I can create new growth and new opportunities. And most importantly, I gained knowledge and wisdom. I gained knowledge and wisdom that I'm going to take forward to build something that I really want that matters to me. And I think that there will be a sense of pride that comes with it, especially when I see this sun card showing up and the moon in that position is about feeling, like you kind of want to say, hey, look what I accomplished. And so even if you're just saying it to yourself, like, wow, that was really tough. I managed that. And so go ahead and feel good about yourself. So what we have here is we have take action and look beneath the surface. Okay. When I say look beneath the surface, I think that, when you cut off the dead parts of something to promote new growth, like a plant can look dead, but when you cut down and you cut back and you look beneath the surface, there's lots of opportunity for growth. Also, look beneath the surface of how you feel about things and really allow yourself to get in touch with your inner knowing and who you are and allow that wisdom, like a situation when it happens, the wisdom is when you take the knowledge and the experience you have and you really let it distill down. You go beneath the surface to figure out what did you learn, what was the gift in it. Because sometimes that's a little harder to do, and so you might have to, dig a little deeper to find it, but taking action. So taking action, moving forward, new opportunities, and then the moon is going to move. The moon is going to move into Cancer on Friday morning at 6:43 a.m. I think, though, that you might find that on Thursday, with that wisdom card there and that look beneath the surface and the moon in the position it is in, it might also be a really good time to dig a little deeper and do a little research. Like, the energy is really strong for research that day, and so maybe there's something you need to get a little bit more into before you take whatever this action is that is being encouraged by Spirit. So when that moon moves into Cancer, this weekend coming up is going to be a little tough because Cancer is great with intuitive feelings, but you might be feeling a little raw, a little sensitized, and a little bit into your emotions. It is in a fellow water sign, so either your emotions could be running high or your intuition could be running high. Either way would be kind of intense, and so trying to seek the balance because you are protected, okay? So Spirit is here to protect you and nurture you, and one of the best things to do when a situation has been a little tough and you've had to learn some hard lessons or whatever from it is to find the gratitude for the lessons. What did you learn that is really good and useful that you could take forward with you? Where are you going? What did you learn? And when you express gratitude to the universe for the gifts that sometimes seem a little obvious and sometimes a little less obvious, you start to build that attitude of gratitude, which actually raises your vibrational energy, which allows you to draw in, much like the sun card magnetizes your system to draw in the positive and the good and the higher vibrational energies to you. And so over the weekend, you're being encouraged to take some time out to breathe. That's it. When I see this, two things pop to mind. One, either maybe you just overwhelmed and you need a freaking break. Or two, because your intuition is really high, it might be a really good time to spend some time in meditation and see what kind of information you get from Spirit. And then we have intention. And so making a decision about where it is that you want to go from here, how do you want to take things as you move forward, is a really great idea to spend a little quiet time maybe over the weekend. What is your intention for this brand new slate here, this Ace of Wands energy, this new beginning? What is your intention? And so before you put paint on the paintbrush and take that first stroke, see how she's like paused and waiting? She's deciding what it is she's going to create. So the intention really matters. The intention really matters. Okay, so we have a little bit of heart healing going on here because we have Ruby and Fuchsite showed up. It says, I attract romance filled with divine love. I have a healthy sex life. I attract romance filled with divine love. I have a healthy sex life. I am healthy and strong thanks to physical movement and exercise outdoors. So maybe you need to take a little break and get outside and go for a walk, breathe in the air around you. And this is calcuprite, and you have sodalite. Sodalite is this beautiful blue stone. This has shown up a couple times, I think. Although I did like the first half of the readings 3 days ago, so it's hard to remember. It says, I sail through life on a calm, nurturing waters. I am at peace with myself and the world around me. That's that taking the time to breathe. That's that finding the balance, you know, being willing to meditate and get into that. All right, so we're at 11 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start I want to write it down so I don't forget what time, so I can timestamp it, but I'm going to start the love reading here. So, I'll do it this way. Okay, so, love reading. I'm going to go ahead and lay out the 9-card spread, and then we will see what that is. The 9-card spread, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome and thank you for showing up. I like to do it because it tells past, present, and future. It gets into your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. But it also, I assigned Lenormand houses to each of the spots so that I would have a more clear understanding of what it is Spirit is trying to tell you. This reading is for the next 30 days. So what does Spirit want Scorpio to know with regards to love for the next 30 days? What does Spirit want Scorpio to know about love for the next 30 days? Okay, here we go. Center card is the key card. That is the key to the situation. It is the most important card of these cards that get laid out, really. That's a beautiful card to have in that position. Wow, that was really fast. Thank you. I feel like we need two. Oh, nice. Okay, so the overall energy here was poised. I wanted to know what you were poised for. Time to go. So you are poised to take action. You're poised to leave a situation when it comes to something about romance. Especially since we saw that 8 of Cups there. That could totally be what that's about. Because 8 of Cups is about having that desire to move away from a situation that is not serving you on the emotional level. And so that could totally be what that is. As the key to the situation here, we have chaos and conflict. Chaos and conflict. So, yeah, you're like, it seems like you're like really over something. All right, so here we go. Imagine. Imagine is in the area of what you were trying to focus your thoughts on in the recent past. I think you were trying to discover, I think, maybe you spent a little time daydreaming. Maybe you spent a little time trying to figure out what is your dream, especially because with the sun being in Libra, and that's in your 12th house where you're paying a lot of attention to your dreams and your goals and your desires, and it's kind of all dreamy and nebulous kind of feeling. Imagine seems very perfect for that to be in the recent past, but now it's time to take the observer role. So the observer role, especially in the area of thoughts, and this is the house of transformation up here, and so in order to navigate this situation and to get in the flow of the universe in the most comfortable way possible will be to take that role of the observer, the part where you remain emotionally balanced, the part where you allow the situation to unfold by kind of detaching yourself, stepping back from a situation, allowing the pieces to fall into place. It's kind of like you shaking everything up and throwing it out, and then you stop and you look, okay, so what do I have here? You know, because it kind of looks like it's chaos and conflict, right? So Oh, okay. So what I just saw was I used to take my laundry, and throw it on the bed to sort it, right? And then I found I really enjoyed doing that because when I did that, like clothes would fall together, and I'd be like, oh, I didn't ever think of putting those two together, but those look really good. And so it's kind of like that, like taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective, seeing all the pieces, distilling that wisdom down, right? And deciding what's falling together in a way that works for you. But like kind of trying to pull your emotions out of the viewpoint, not shutting down and putting walls around your heart, but in this particular situation, in order to do the transformation, I think the more dispassionate you are through the process, the less you take things personally, what people say and do, because 95% of what people say and do actually has nothing to do with you. It has to do with their own issues and concerns. And so trying to just step back and be an observer of the situation as you navigate your way through it might end up being very comfortable. And so, yes, you're being asked to stay very much in the here and now going forward, not looking too far to the past, not looking too far to the future, trying to stay, and that's that breathing, that meditating, trying to stay right where you are, in the now moment. And so when you find yourself spiraling around and getting a little out of balance or thinking about things and getting stressed out about it, stop for a moment, breathe out, and just for that second, be right where you are and allow it to clear your thinking and then move forward. It'll allow you to process some of that negative energy. It helps you to actually release it out of your body in a way that's much more productive. So in the recent past, you have been very anxious trying to decide what would bring the milk and honey into your life. This is that 10 of Cups kind of energy that I have everything I want. And with this in the House of the Mice, either you thought you had it and you didn't, or you're trying to create it and you're not sure how, or you're trying to decide what will create it. It could be different for different people. So when you saw this, what did you think, right? So it's in the past. What were you feeling in your heart that's kind of has some anxiety wrapped around it? Because whatever you were thinking, that is absolutely correct for you, but you're moving toward happiness. This is in the space of the heart, and we have happy. But you do notice, right, that she's standing, there's a key there, a keyhole. So you're going to have to unlock the key to your happiness to set yourself free. I never find the key in here. I keep thinking one of these days I'm going to look at it and go, oh, there's the key, but I can't ever find it. So I'm thinking the key to happiness is in your heart because it fell into the space of the heart space. So think about it in your heart. What is it that you're actually seeking? What actually makes you happy? Where do you find the happiness? And I hope that you find the happiness with you. Like, it always starts there. So in the recent past, the obstacle was going the distance. So I feel like there's something that's been really, really hard and you've been trying to make it work. Really trying, spending a lot of time on it, trying to figure out how to navigate the way forward. But going the distance in the area of the obstacle means that you came up against a hard stop. Like something really blocked whatever it was that you thought you were going for, that you thought was the finish line. There was a hard stop here, and so now you kind of have a little mess that you need to clean up. But when this shows up, when you've got chaos and conflict going on, and you've got this observer going on, this is about you releasing the emotional baggage that does not serve you. And it really helps to do that with the observer attitude of, okay, look, I could hang on to my anger and resentment because we didn't go the distance, but do I really want to drag that big, heavy weight forward? Breathe it out. No, I don't want that. So looking toward the future, releasing what doesn't work, remember what you were imagining, what you were going for, but trying to stay in the here and now. And so we have round and round. Okay, so round and round means a couple of things. Round and round means you've been in the situation before, okay? You've been in the situation before. It's gone around and around, but the thing about the spiral is that it gets higher, and so that situation that you've been in before and it feels familiar, you're looking down, being the observer, you have a better perspective, a better ability to view it in a way that you can make work for you. So if you're like, oh my gosh, it seems like this happens all the time. Well, when I see this card, I want to say whatever this is, it's familiar. It has happened many times. But the key to success, the key to happiness here is taking that higher perspective, is getting up above the fray, being the observer of your life and saying, okay, I'm going to release the stuff that doesn't work. What did I learn? I will take that with me. But the emotional baggage, I am going to leave that behind. And I've learned something. When we keep getting the same lesson over and over and over, it's because, you didn't get it the first couple of times. And that's okay. And it gets tougher. I was talking to a friend the other day about how that can go, where you get hit with a fly swatter, and then you get, hit on the thumb with the hammer, and then you can get hit in the head with the sledgehammer, and then maybe you get hit by the Ford Focus, and then the truck gets you, and the next thing you know, it's a Mack truck, and then it's a train, and then the whole world falls on top of you. When is it enough, right? And so as you learn the lessons and you distill the information down and you step back and you're the observer and you stay present and be where you are and center yourself into yourself, then you can think, what is it that I really want? What matters to me? And then you're poised to walk away from the crap that doesn't work. That's when you fly high. And look, this is the Ace of Wands again. That's twice you got the Ace of Wands. This is new vitality. There is something really beautiful coming into your life. So whatever the situation is, it was time to walk away. That Eight of Cups that said that it was time to walk away. Okay, you know what? This is a big mess. Talk about chaos and conflict, right? There's a big mess there. I'm done. I'm walking away. I've been here before. I don't like it. It's not working. So sometimes it requires assessing. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got, right? So what did you learn? How have you grown? It wasn't about that person. And honestly, I think in your heart, learning to be grateful for the lessons taught by this person, because you agreed to come into this world and teach each other something. And so hopefully, you both end up better for it. But whether or not they're better for it really isn't your responsibility. Your responsibility is to learn your lessons and move forward. If they haven't figured it out, the universe will send them somebody. Just like you, from this round and round, I'm going to guess you didn't learn something and the universe sent you somebody. Just that? Okay. So we have wallflower. So this month, for the next 30 days, sit it out. Sit it out. This new vitality, I feel like this is you, finding what's creative to you, what matters to you. What is it that you want? You're poised for greatness, right? But right now, when we have the wallflowers show up, it's just time to take a break. Don't go jumping from one relationship into the other. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to do the cleanup work. Allow yourself to let things go, because when I see this with the wallflower and the new vitality and something, I feel like an opportunity is coming soon, but you'll see it from a higher perspective that will allow your heart to be happy. But you're going to have to be in the here and now, and the only way to do that is to sit on the sidelines for a little while, nurse your broken heart, clean up your baggage, do your work, so that when the opportunity comes back around, you'll be able to have that higher perspective and you'll be ready for it. So it's actually really wonderful. All right, these cards right here are really great because I'm going to end up having to read them. Gosh, I hope the lighting's good enough for me to do that. I'm recording at night and I am night blind, so we'll see what happens here. But these are great because they give really very specific information about what you can do to allow yourself to move into a more productive, a more emotionally satisfying relationship moving forward. This is all about you. Well, the first one that shows up is luminosity. I will read this, but when I see this, I see the sun card, right? Luminosity. This is like letting your light shine, but I'm sure it also has to do because she's holding, because of what I'm viewing in this picture, it probably also is about allowing divine intervention to information from spirit to come into your life. And then you have sexuality. So that's an interesting, maybe part of that whole being balanced thing comes from allowing yourself to be, oh, they're right here. I'm like, where's the book? Allowing yourself to be balanced in spiritual and sexual. Let's see here. Ooh, this will work. Okay. So, the natural rhythms of sexuality are sadly misunderstood in our modern culture. All too often we see a person's natural sexuality is glamorized and exaggerated in order to have an attractive partner, to lure an attractive partner. As a result, many people become entangled in relationships that have little more substance than sexual attraction. If there's no real connection between the two, then there's a sense of obligation or fear of losing what there is, maybe all that keeps them together. The situation is simply not good enough. Sexuality has its own beautiful rhythm if you're prepared to listen to it. A natural caution and healthy boundary of reserve will guide you when the time is right to connect in a sexual union with the person that you're attracted to. Surprisingly, this time frame will often be around 1 month. 1 month after you started dating someone. Time to know the person into some depth rather than the whirlwind tumble into bed that's encouraged in Hollywood. Contrary to popular belief, sexuality does not automatically fade as a relationship continues. Imagine your sexual energy as a flower that is gradually opening, growing, blossoming, and coming into full beauty. Sexuality blossoms in an atmosphere of trust, of intimacy, of love, and of friendship, and will wither in an atmosphere of misunderstood feelings and neediness. So often I have observed that true intimacy comes from being willing to open up and share what your thoughts and feelings are with somebody. And when you leave people to guess at what you're thinking and feeling, and when they leave you to guess at what they're thinking and feeling, and you don't have open and honest communication, then it allows opportunities for misunderstandings, for misinterpretation, for mistrust. And so instead of talking your way through an issue or a problem and finding a common solution together, if one party feels like, oh gosh, if they know I screwed up like that, then they'd be mad, and the other person's like, well, they never tell me anything, and so what are they really up to? And it just drives a big wedge. And so this card is encouraging you to be open and honest in a relationship, that true intimacy actually has nothing to do with sexuality, and it has everything to do with connecting through communication, through trust, through love, through understanding. And I think through, it doesn't say this, but I think through acceptance. It does mention friendship, but I would say acceptance. Accepting that you accept yourself for all of your quote-unquote imperfections, which allows you then to also accept your partner that way. And when you treat your partner as though you're totally accepting of their quote-unquote imperfections, that allows them to relax and trust and be able to accept yours, and then you can allow the friendship to grow. But friendship requires communication. It requires common time spent together. I mean, you have to spend time together and problem solve together, and it's that kind of a situation. So that's what this card is about. Okay, I'm going back to reading. In an existing relationship, you are required to listen to the natural rhythms more instead of allowing your routine to dictate your life. Take a second honeymoon, start afresh, make time to connect in the mornings and the afternoons rather than after a long, busy day. Ooh, yes! Yes, afternoon delight, people. Honestly, at the end of the day, when everybody's exhausted, you're just doing it. Not always, but quite often it's like, oh, okay. I don't know. It feels like an obligation. I got to get this done so I can fall asleep. But the mornings are, if you can make time in the morning, catch them during times, but you need time. You need time, okay? You need time together. Whether you're manifesting a partner or already with someone, you have drawn this card today because it's up to you to heed this call from your heart, body, and soul to give your sexuality the respect and attention it deserves. So, either some people probably are like, what are you talking about? It's been 1,000 years. And others of you, you need to not rush it when you get into a relationship. And you know which group you're in, so you figure that out. I'm not going to do that. All right, here we go. Luminosity. Luminosity. I probably don't need to read the whole thing. Being luminous requires poise. It's worth the extra effort, of patience. Usually it's most effective as an adjustment of perspective. Okay. When someone is luminous, she asks for what she needs with respect for the other person's time and feelings, and then goes about her day confident that her requests will be responded to. If it takes a little longer than she first hoped, she does not become overbearing or critical. She simply focuses on her own life and what she is able to do, thus creating a positive space for the partner to step into. Whether we like it or not, the responsibility of going first lies with the feminine, as very few men will continue to be chivalrous in the space of a woman who isn't luminous to some degree. Wow. Girls. Okay. Here's what I see. Everybody has divine masculine and divine feminine. And everyone wants to, the chivalrous male, divine masculine, in males and female, like to step in and help out when they can. But if they feel unappreciated for their effort, or they feel like they have to do that right now, right this minute, then doesn't feel like chivalry. It feels like a requirement in order to just to not have a fight. Okay, so the divine feminine in every person, and this is male and female alike, they like to be able to ask for what they need and know that they will receive it without having to mention it multiple times. And so this really flows both ways, and I am not, that way that was written feels very much like along the traditional male-female roles, but I believe that every person has divine feminine and divine masculine energies, and that balancing, that temperance of the alchemy is that sometimes you have to be willing to give and sometimes you have to be willing to receive. And it seems like there's a real need here to listen to your future partner or your current partner as you're working through some situation here, and also expecting that they're also listening and responding to you in a timely manner. When you feel like no one's listening, it creates barriers and walls. It creates the misunderstanding. And as you like to be heard, so does your partner like to be heard. And so listening and giving without being pushed into it seems to be like a really big thing on this. It feels like Spirit really wants, if you're actually coming out of a relationship that didn't work, part of this round and around, part of this cleaning up is kind of taking a look at, did I give and receive appropriately? Because some people have a tendency to be a doormat and allow people to walk all over them and take and take and take, and they don't give back. And then some people are very demanding and very expectant, and they don't give. They don't respond. And so leaving someone hanging on, it makes your partner feel unimportant, not valued. And a partnership can't exist, can't sustain when you don't feel valued. And so this is about, the first card is about valuing yourself, right? Don't sex too soon. Valuing the relationship by finding time to be intimate in conversation, finding time to be intimate in bed, finding time to be intimate not necessarily in bed, bringing the fun and the joy back into your life, but the intimacy is developed through kindness and consideration and friendship and actually caring and valuing the other party. And this one is also talking about this. This is talking about when you ask for something, allow your partner time to do it. Don't push them, don't rush. Then that makes them resentful. On the other hand, have enough self-respect that when you're being ignored, that maybe that's a relationship you need to walk away from. Like, that's not the right one. So the next relationship might not be the relationship. And that's something really to keep in mind, right? So taking time to be a wallflower and allowing yourself to heal is one thing. And now as I read this, I wonder if you don't feel like I was in a relationship where I was totally ignored and I feel like a wallflower. Okay? So love yourself first. Have enough respect to ask for what you want, and enough respect for yourself to understand that if your partner is unwilling or unable or unresponsive, that's not the kind of relationship you want, and just walk away. Just walk away. There's going to be somebody else. They're not, and I know some of you, I can hear you guys, okay, but that's my twin flame, that's my soulmate, that's the person. Well, maybe, but they're not ready, or you're not ready, because if you feel like you need to push and push and push for it, you're not ready either. And so giving time and space and allowing things to fall into place and allowing them to have their experiences and grow, and allowing yourself to have your experiences and grow. And honestly, it may not be this lifetime. And you just have to sometimes just accept that. And so these cards are messages from Spirit regarding the situation. And the first one that came flying out, you can't really read that. It says, only time will tell. So allowing yourself space to heal, clean up your emotional baggage, build your own sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-respect. When you are a bucket with a hole in it and you need someone to constantly be filling you up emotionally, that is not a relationship that can be sustained. So mend your bucket, okay? Time will tell. Allow yourself time to heal. Allow yourself to be willing to be in the position so that you can give something into a relationship. Because if you go in really needy, then that's not fair to the partner either, okay? So when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. This is that conversation about the intimacy, the friendship, the really actually having a real relationship that isn't about, sexual passion. But sexual passion, that's the fun part. That's the yes, okay? But if that's all you have, then you have nothing. Nothing sustainable. And this one says, my beloved. So this one feels like the future soulmate that's coming, because this really feels like many of you are coming out of a bad emotional relationship. Again, this can't be everyone. If this is not your reading, check out your sun, your moon, or your rising, whichever one this isn't, okay? I can't pick up the energy of everybody. But there's somebody out there that has, or it's in another reading, okay? So it says, my beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time, nothing is missing. So don't rush it, don't push it, and be willing to accept it might not be in this lifetime with this partner, and that's okay. It really is. You keep doing your soul work, you do what you need to do to make yourself a better person, and the situation will come, because all I see here in the space of the heart is happy, happy. So find your happy, happy. You deserve it. Walk away from that, what's not working, and then do your work. And don't worry about what the timetable is for what your partner's doing, because your future partner, they're doing their work. And, it'll work out one way or the other. Okay? All right, well, that was really long and involved. You take care, and we'll talk soon.